All right, guys, welcome back to Crypto Deal News. We have a very interesting video to get down to today. We have some statements from former Ripple CTO David Schwartz that we're going to break down. There's things that he said the other day that people are saying, oh, he debunked the $10,000 XRP price. And then there's things that he said today that might actually support a $12 XRP or $2,000 XRP or any price XRP. So we're going to jump right into it. But before we get into today's video, this video is sponsored by SolPump. If you guys want to get up to $1,250 in daily reward cases, then use code DIL, D-Y-L, on the SolPump app, and you guys can play any Solana-based game possible. There's one game on SolPump which is called Crash. It's basically a rocket that goes up and up and up until it crashes. So the name of the game is to cash out your Solana before it crashes. This is not financial advice. Always invest your own risk and make your own financial decisions. But if you guys want to get a free up to $1,250 in daily reward cases, then use code DIL, D-Y-L, on SolPump. So let's get back to the video. So there's two statements that I want to go over. The first one we'll go over is from a couple days ago. It went super viral right after the XRP Las Vegas conference, which was last week. David Schwartz was responding to someone on X, and he said, I have it right here. He said, if there were a few very rich, very rational people who really believed that there was a 1% chance that XRP could hit 10K in 10 years, they'd bid XRP to at least $20 today. Why aren't they? Conspiracy. So a lot of people took what he said out of context and automatically, twisted his words to think, oh yeah, he said it's impossible to hit 10K. No, what he said is that if there's, rich people, wealthy people that believe it's going to $10,000, why aren't they bidding it up? And we've explained this in the past, is that majority of people that are so locked in and banking on a $10,000 XRP, they don't have crazy amounts of capital, right? They're hoping on a pipe dream. They're hoping on a wish and a dream for XRP to go to those crazy prices. Now, someone like me, I'm an XRP whale, I guess you could call me at this point, but I'm all in on XRP. I believe we can get to those prices, but I also want to set myself up, to be very financially stable at a $3 XRP, at a $5 XRP, $10 XRP, $100 XRP. I want to be able to not have to work again through XRP, and I can't just solely rely on a $10,000 price. But here's what he said today, which really proved a lot of people wrong, and a lot of people that might be new to crypto, a lot of beginners in crypto don't understand how crypto truly works, because when I first got into crypto, people thought that it was impossible for Ethereum to ever go to $1,000 or $2,000. People thought it was impossible for Bitcoin to ever get to $100,000. We saw that happen last year. They said the reasonings why is due to market cap. People didn't see Solana in 2020, 2021 when it was trading at just cents per coin, and then it ran up to almost $300 last year. Right now, Solana is sitting at like $85. All-time high was what, $295 last year, so people only see these current prices right now or prices from last year and think that that's like the highest they can get to, but they don't understand that just years ago they were super low. A lot of people also don't understand that XRP was just worth fractions of a penny many years ago, and XRP is actually outperforming Bitcoin, or has outperformed Bitcoin in the last 10 years. In terms of ROI. Although Bitcoin is currently at $80,000, that is irrelevant to actual ROI percent gain returns. XRP has outperformed it now at a $1.40 price. So David Schwartz said something today that really made me open my eyes, and should make you open your eyes when it comes down to XRP as a whole. When people are currently doubting the prices of XRP, you should really take this into consideration. So he was speaking to someone on X talking about Ethereum, on why he sold Ethereum, and this makes me really excited for the future for XRP. It makes me laugh because a lot of people maybe watching this video, a lot of people just in crypto or in XRP specifically, they try to trade XRP too much with their whole entire bag. They'll sell their whole entire bag at a certain price when it's realistically really low, thinking that it will never continue to rise, and they'll think that it's just going to continue to drop again, which it has, but they don't realize that eventually it's going to go. So David Schwartz said, he was talking about Ethereum, he said, to be completely fair to me, at least a small part of my reasoning is that it had to bounce between 70 cents and $1 a few times. So I figured I'd sell it the next time it hit $1 and maybe buy back in when it dropped. Before I knew it, I'd sold at $1.05 and it was up to $12. Next thing I knew, it shot up to $12. I was confident that that was the top, so no reason to ever think about buying back in. Then it shot up to $2,000. Guys, he's talking about Ethereum. I don't think you guys realize, years ago, the price of Ethereum was $1, less than $1. It was in the cents category. And now it's the second biggest market cap coin, because I don't know if you guys realize that XRP actually used to be number 2 behind Bitcoin in market cap. I don't know if you guys really knew that, anyone that's new. XRP was number 2 in market cap prior to the whole entire SEC versus Ripple case, prior to XRP getting delisted off major exchanges. But back to the point, Ethereum was worth, 70 cents, lower than that. And now it's worth $2,000. People were saying years ago, oh, it's impossible for Ethereum to get to this price or that price due to market cap. That's where we're currently at with XRP here in 2026. XRP can't get to this price or that price due to market cap. It's the same exact conversation, and then it's going to prove everybody wrong, just like it proved the former Ripple CTO wrong with Ethereum. These are things that people don't realize. They haven't been in crypto long enough to understand that these have happened time and time and time again. People thought I was a clown when I said that Bitcoin's going to $100,000 one day. Peter Schiff, the gold maxi, there's a famous quote, or infamous quote, of him tweeting, Bitcoin will never go to $100,000. And if you look on that thread from years ago, there was all people saying, oh yeah, they were agreeing with him, saying that it can't get to $100,000 due to market cap. It's the same argument all the time. So the point of this video is to really have you understand that things in crypto, they seem impossible until they aren't. Crypto will always continue to prove people wrong time and time again. No one thought that Bitcoin would ever go to $100,000. It did. No one ever thought that Ethereum would ever go to $100, $1,000, $2,000, or even $3,000, which it did. People don't understand how crypto actually works. They're too stuck on the stock market when it comes down to market cap calculations. They have to understand XRP is now deemed as a digital commodity. When it comes down to the market cap argument, this is where people don't understand when it comes down to market cap with XRP. XRP is a digital commodity. It's priced in based on utility, inflow, and actual use case, okay? Actual use case. Inflow, liquidity, use case. That is completely different than just putting the market cap multiplier on. Okay, it's not just a basic retail calculation when it comes down to the supply factor. And people don't realize how much supply is actually available on public exchanges. They think that the full supply is available. No, there's not as much XRP as you think is available on public exchanges. And when there is a supply shock, you are going to see astronomical prices. Because it's basic supply and demand. Whenever there's less of something, there's more demand for it. So based on what David Schwartz said the other day, a lot of people twisting his words, and I think that that's probably going to backfire one day. And then, today, what he said, speaking on, Ethereum, selling it at $1, not thinking it would ever go higher, went to $12, and then it even went to $2,000, even $3,000. So that's something to really think about when you're thinking about selling XRP at $1, $2, or even $3, when you got to understand this is a long-term picture here, and that Ripple is building the most infrastructure, the most utility for the XRP ledger out of any single crypto coin. So I'm very curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about what David Schwartz said, both on the negative side and the positive side. So I want to know what you guys think, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, the like button, as I'm giving you guys daily YouTube videos here. I'll see you guys in the next video.